One, you just saw what happened to the WNBA. The league is in total chaos right now. Fans are angry and boycotting after Caitlin Clark's team got eliminated.
Well, it appears that Caitlin Clark fans have listened. Last night, I received the ratings for the first round of games for the Chase for the Golden Toilet. As expected, darkness is coming. The spotlight is rapidly fading.
No matter how you spin it, the truth is that most people didn't really care about the WNBA until Caitlin Clark showed up.
2 years ago, their home attendance was 1,800 fans. Their average this year, home attendance, is 17,000. That's almost 10 times. And, of course, the big difference is Caitlin Clark.
Now that the star of the league is gone, the WNBA will return to what it was before the Caitlin Clark effect, leaving many Indiana Fever fans disappointed.
A lot of the Indiana Fever fans or Caitlin Clark fans that you speak of are no longer going to watch the WNBA now that the Indiana Fever are out.
There's no denying it. She single-handedly brought the league into the spotlight. Despite being mistreated, she gave her best. Now that she's out of the league, people are going back to not caring about the WNBA once again.
They have no fans. And now that Caitlin Clark has exited, they'll get to deal with the traveling gay sex cult that they're comfortable with. That's what WNBA games have been.
Fans were already upset over all the hate Caitlin Clark was getting. Her opponents weren't just targeting her on the court, they were also accusing her fans.
And then the moment the ratings tank, they're going to come back and say, see, we were right all along. It's all the racists that follow Caitlin Clark that were watching the product, and now they're gone, and we're back with our diehards. And that's the ratings that you're seeing, actual W fans, not WNBA, actual W fans.
Let me get it right.
That's going to be the argument
The W.
now.
Well, congratulations, because now Caitlin Clark's fans might just skip watching the WNBA altogether this year. And when I say Caitlin Clark's fans, I mean pretty much the entire WNBA audience.
Because no one cared about your league before Caitlin Clark. There were no opposing fans. You barely had home fans. And so no one cared. A couple 300,000 people were watching your games before Caitlin Clark.
If anyone still thinks Caitlin Clark's absence won't affect viewership, they need to stop being ignorant and accept the truth.
Caitlin Clark came in and made such an impact on how many people started to care about the WNBA. This was the highest viewed season in the history of the league. In 28 years, the numbers were stellar.
Let's be honest. How many of you actually started watching the WNBA only after Caitlin Clark entered the scene?
Caitlin Clark drew a whole new fan base into it. And now the question is, because she has been eliminated, she and the Indiana Fever are eliminated after losing 2 games to the Connecticut Sun. What is the rest of the season going to look like, ratings-wise, for the WNBA? Are people still going to care? That is the question on everybody's mind. Because when you look at the numbers with Caitlin Clark there,
that's not really a question if you ask me.
Now we're seeing comments of people saying, well, it's been real, WNBA, I'm going to go back to watching football now. Like, I'll be back when Caitlin plays again, or I'll be back when the Indiana Fever play because now I'm an Indiana Fever fan.
Every Caitlin Clark fan is saying the same thing right now. The WNBA just isn't the same without her.
Caitlin Clark has literally carried the sport on her back all summer long. She talks that yang. That's what resonates with Caitlin Clark. It isn't her being white. It isn't her being straight. Her game resonates with people in basketball and across the country because she's got that edge. She plays with a flair. I heard her drop 3 F-bombs in one game sitting right there courtside. Her teammates had to hold her back. She's yelling at the coach. That's what Magic Bird, Isaiah, Jordan, you name it, that's what they do. Clark resonates, but that clicking sound you hear is televisions being turned off. Ain't nobody watching this stuff now. Ain't nobody turning the set on and saying, I gotta watch who?
When she's on the court, you know records are going to be broken. Have you seen the insane list of records she smashed this season?
Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA. First WNBA rookie to record 2 triple-doubles. First triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history. First triple-double in Fever history. The first player to be named WNBA Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month in the same month. First player in WNBA history with 20 or more points, 15 or more assists, and 5 or more rebounds in a game. She won Rookie of the Month 4 times, Eastern Conference Player of the Week 3 times. She set a single-season record for assists. Period. Single-season rookie record for assists. That makes sense. Single-season rookie record for 3-pointers. Single game record for assists, 19. Franchise record for most double-doubles, 3-pointers. Career 10 or more assists in a game. How about that? Franchise record for most career 10 or more assists in a game. Fastest WNBA player to reach 100 3-pointers. She did it in 34 games. Most assists by a rookie in a WNBA All-Star game, for which she received the most fan votes ever. 700,000 of those. Fastest player to reach 350 points and 150 assists to start a season regardless of years in the league.
She racked up so many records that they had to speed up the video clip just to list them all. If that's not impressive, then honestly, what is? The WNBA is already seeing a big drop in viewership, and the numbers don't lie. The Indiana Fever playoff game pulled in more viewers than the next 3 playoff matches combined.
Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever had over 1.8 million viewers, and the rest of the games had around 400,000 viewers. If you added them up together, they still wouldn't add up to 1.84 million.
13 football is usually the main focus for most Americans, but Caitlin Clark changed that. Even with NFL games on, people couldn't resist tuning in to her WNBA playoff match, which pulled in a record-breaking 1.8 million viewers.
Sunday afternoon, competing directly with the fourth quarter of the early slate of games in the NFL, Caitlin Clark drew 1.8 million viewers on ABC. It was the most watched playoff game since Game 2 of the 2000 WNBA Finals, and it was the most watched game in the WNBA playoffs on an NFL Sunday.
You'd think everyone in the WNBA community would be thrilled that the league pulled in record-breaking viewership, even with a full lineup of NFL games. But leave it to Caitlin Clark's #1 hater, Cheryl Swoops, to stir the pot. Instead of giving credit where it's due, Swoops, who's never been easily impressed by the Fever star, made it clear she wasn't excited that viewers chose the WNBA over the NFL. She expressed her thoughts on her podcast, Queens of the Court, when asked about her opinion on the WNBA playoffs surpassing NFL viewership.
I was not excited about the playoffs starting. First of all, it is a football Sunday, and I don't care how much we've grown and people are tuning in and they're watching in the eyes. You're going up against NFL on a Sunday. A Sunday.
Well, Cheryl, the fact is fans chose to tune in on a Sunday with NFL games on, and they tuned in to watch Caitlin Clark. So, you're not only disrespecting the WNBA and Caitlin Clark, but also the new fans she brought into the league.
It is not just a delusional fan base who is just delusional, but they're not really tuning in. No, these people are coming in waves to watch one player who has sold out every single arena that she has played in this season.
Let's take a moment and discuss Caitlin Clark. She didn't just participate in the league, she revolutionized it.
We talk about league attendance. The Indiana Fever, all right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road. Fever averaged 17,035 at home, 15,000 on the road. Attendance for the entire league up nearly 50% this year, according to data from across the timeline. And Indiana leads all teams with an average attendance of, like I said, of 17,035. Merchandise sales are up 450%. I'm gonna repeat that. Merchandise sales are up 450% for the WNBA, according to Fanatics. So
she took WNBA players from cramped commercial flights to private charters. Before Clark brought in all the new fans and attention, players had to fly commercial to games. But with her rise, everything changed.
WNBA announced they plan to commit $50 million over the next 2 seasons so players can fly on chartered planes. The league faced backlash on social media when Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark and the team was seen walking through a Dallas airport headed to a commercial flight. I need any females out there who are fans of the WNBA, who are fans of WNBA players, who are critical of Caitlin Clark in any way to stand down, chill out. You need to hug that girl when you see her. You need to embrace her. You need to compete like hell to go up against her, take her down on the basketball court. That's fine, which I believe the Diana Taurasi's and the Asia Wilsons and others of the world will gladly do. But in her very first press conference, she brought up the fact that they had to fly commercial, and the next damn day, $50 million was committed to the players. Who you think has something to do with that? She could have been selfish. She was selfless.
She was selfless. It was the Caitlin Clark effect that led to all this. Despite all of this, she had to deal with a lot of hate and jealousy from other players. Their argument? We've been grinding in this league for years, so why is Caitlin the one getting all the attention?
who helped build the NBA deserved far more shine that they were getting, you have every right to feel that way. What you have to respect, however, is that the paying customer, the audience, didn't feel that way. They did not give a damn about the WNBA. And they really were not feeling the WNBA to the degree that they're feeling the WNBA now, obviously because of Caitlin Clark, who's selling out games and got the Indiana Fever selling out games more than they sell out Pacer games.
It's not just the viewership and attention she brought. Her game speaks for itself. Caitlin Clark transformed the Indiana Fever from one of the worst teams in the WNBA into a playoff contender.
Indiana Fever, remember, Caitlin Clark was drafted first, which means last year they were the worst team in the WNBA. It did not matter because this season they were the most watched team in the league. An average of viewership, 1.1 million viewers each game in the regular season. Other games, listen to this, paled in comparison, drawing just about 394,000 viewers on average per game.
She didn't just impress fans and viewers. She also won over analysts and even legendary basketball players, turning them into her biggest supporters.
I could watch Caitlin Clark every single night play basketball. I'm that fascinated with her mind, her toughness, obviously her shooting ability. I think she might have cracked my top 5 all time, and that's men or women.
All time?
Yes. I'm going MJ's in that category. Steph Curry is in that category. If Caitlin Clark goes in there, man, and Larry Bird will be the other guy. That's my 5.
Here's what Charles Barkley had to say about Caitlin Clark.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all that private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished, give her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out there. She got y'all charters. She bringing all y'all this money to the table, but y'all being petty like dudes. LeBron, you are 100% right. Y'all girls, stop being petty. Caitlin Clark, thank you for bringing all that money and shine to the WNBA.
Now everyone's starting to question whether the WNBA can survive in the market without Caitlin Clark. Her absence has raised doubts about the league's future without her star power.
I'm saying they should have done everything they can to keep Clark playing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Asia Wilson and whoever these other angry women are, maybe, just maybe, they're going to take off and run with it. Maybe it's better with Clark not being in the playoffs so we can watch others.
The audience just isn't interested in watching the other players. For most, it doesn't even feel like real basketball anymore. Caitlin Clark brought that fast-paced action and those pinpoint three-pointers that made women's basketball exciting. Without her, the season is already over for me and countless other viewers. It's not just the viewership that's taken a hit. Attendance at games has dropped significantly as well. Without Caitlin Clark, it seems like the excitement around the league is fading fast.
The celebration is over. Reality is knocking on the door of the porta potty. The truth is finally coming to the light. The same light that is going to be dimming here in about 12 hours when Caitlin Clark is eliminated from the playoffs. I know the mainstream media wants us to believe that the WNBA is surging in popularity. I know analysts like Monica McDougal at ESPN. They want us to recognize elite layup missers and failed dunkers. But what Casey has been telling you guys all season, it has been true. What I have said countless times over the past few months, it is finally being proven without a shadow of a doubt. Caitlin Clark is a megastar. Caitlin Clark is a box office draw, while the rest of the WNBA, it is nothing but a polished turd.
But it didn't have to turn out like this. The WNBA had a golden opportunity with Caitlin Clark. They could have made her the official face of the league and used her star power to elevate the WNBA to new heights. Instead, they missed the chance to fully capitalize on her impact.
And it's not just the ratings that were in the pooper. Attendance was clogging the drain as well. Aces, shitbirds, 10,000 in an arena capable of holding 12. Linkers, masculines, 8,500 in an arena capable of holding almost 19,000. Dreamers, liberals, 11,000 in an arena capable of holding 18,000. If you're one of the dozens of fans in the WNBA, it is only going to get worse from here.
What did they do instead? Rather than supporting her, the entire league turned on her. They bullied her, and the league officials rewarded the bullies with titles and awards. A perfect example is when DJ Carrington hit Caitlin Clark in the eye. Everyone saw it. Everyone knew it was wrong, and she should have been suspended.
It's something. And I think that some of the ladies, not all, but some of the ladies in the WNBA are missing the point.
Instead of suspending DJ Carrington and imposing a fine, the league went ahead and awarded her as the most improved player. Can you believe it?
DJ Carrington get into it with Caitlin Clark. There were many accusing her of giving Caitlin Clark a black eye, having an intentional foul on Caitlin Clark, which wasn't called. DJ Carrington now has been awarded Most Improved Player of the Season. If people were to read about this WNBA player getting Most Improved this season, I think oftentimes if you would have looked last year, for example, they would have been like, who? Who is this person? Okay, moving on. I have no idea, nor do I care. But because this was the player just involved in a bit of a scuffle with Caitlin Clark in the opening game of the playoffs, now people are saying, oh, that woman that got Most Improved Player, that's the one who stuck her fingernail in Caitlin Clark's eye.
Until the WNBA fixes this bias and negativity toward Caitlin Clark, I seriously doubt anyone will take them seriously. What do you think about this situation? Let me know in the comments section below.